Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing great. Now, Le Noir Le Parfum from Jean-Paul Gaultier is one of my favorite scents. I really like that how the original DNA of Le Noir has been mixed in here with some nice sweet powdery iris note, creating this very rich, very sexy scent profile that I absolutely love. So I'm always on the lookout for a good Le Noir Le Parfum clone. And about a month ago I got my hands on a bottle of this thing, Glacier Le Noir from the house of Maison Alhambra. Now this thing has received some very positive reviews from some fellow YouTube reviewers. Some people have even called this thing almost identical to the original fragrance. So in this video today I'm going to review Glacier Le Noir and I'm going to tell you whether this is actually a good clone of Le Noir Le Parfum. Glacier Le Noir from Maison Alhambra comes packaged in this metal box that's very similar to what you get with the original scent. You get the branding, the name of the fragrance, the company, bottle size 100 milliliters, concentration EDP. On the side there's a sticker of authenticity. On the bottom there's a production date, which is August of 2023. Again, you open up the bottom part of the box like you do with the original fragrance, and then you're greeted by this bottle. And to be honest, I'm not really a fan of the bottle. For some reason, I think the guys from Maison Alhambra, they started copying the original bottle, but at some point they said something like the hell with it, and just went with this very, I don't know how to call it, tacky looking bottle. It has nice heft to it. The cap is plastic, feels super cheap. It's somewhat of a snug fit. All in all, I'm really not a big fan of the bottle, but the actual box is pretty similar to what you get with the original fragrance. If you enjoy my videos guys, but you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Okay, now let's talk about the scent of Glacier Le Noir and the actual note breakdown. At least what I was able to find online has the following notes. The top note is only one note listed, and that's cardamom. The middle notes are iris and lavender, and the base notes are oriental notes, vanilla and oudi notes. I'll show you the sprayer in action and then I'll talk about the scent of Glacier Le Noir. The sprayer is pretty good. And now onto the scent profile of Glacier Le Noir. Now, as soon as you spray this fragrance, as soon as I spray it, what I immediately pick up is a bit of freshness from the lavender. I pick up quite a lot of spiciness, and especially the cardamom note is really strong in the opening of this fragrance. It's very oudi right from the get-go. There's a touch of that iris and a touch of sweetness from the vanilla. So it opens up quite spicy, quite sharp, a bit fresh and slightly sweet. Once this starts to go into the dry down, the spicy notes, they lose their strength. This thing becomes a little bit more oudi. The iris is still somewhere in the background. It doesn't play a very prominent role, in the scent of this fragrance. It becomes a little bit more, sweet. The vanilla is a little bit stronger in the dry down, but the main player here is the woody notes that are listed. I don't know what kind of woody notes Maison Alhambra have used, but this thing feels really woody on the dry down, to a point where I almost feel as it feels kind of dry, if that makes any sense, kind of woody dryness out of this fragrance. That's the dry down. When it comes to how close this thing is to the original fragrance, as I said in the opening of this video, in the beginning of this video, a lot of people have given this fragrance very positive reviews, and some of them have even called this thing almost identical to the original scent. And unfortunately, I cannot say the same, at least from my experience. In the air around the person who wears Glacier Le Noir, it's pretty similar to what you get with the original fragrance, and you'll probably recognize that this is a clone of Le Noir Le Parfum, but it doesn't feel identical at all. And that is really the case when you start to sniff this fragrance up close where you've sprayed it. It feels a little bit more spicy in the opening, you know, the cardamom note is stronger compared to what I get from Le Mot Le Parfum. Also, this lacks the sweetness that I get from Le Mot Le Parfum. This has some vanilla sweetness, but it's a lot less sweet compared to the original fragrance, and especially on the dry down it feels a lot more woody and feels a lot drier. You know, Le Mot Le Parfum feels sweeter and a lot warmer. When it comes to the performance, the original fragrance has always been a great performer for me. You know, I've been getting 10 hours easily of performance on my skin, sometimes even up to 11, 12 hours. Glacier Le Noir has not been such a strong performer, but still it's not been a disappointing fragrance. I've been getting about 8 to 8.5 hours of performance out of this thing, with sort of an okay projection in the first hour and a half up to 2 hours. So performance wise, it's a decently performing fragrance. When it comes to the price tag, as usual, I'm going to quote the prices that I'm paying for my fragrances, and I paid about 22, 23 euros. When it comes to the versatility, it's not a super versatile scent. It's you know, a type of scent that is usually, you know, associated with the colder months of the year, and definitely this is a fragrance that is more orientated towards the night. You know, it's not a daytime scent in my opinion. So versatility wise, it's somewhat limited, but that's down to the actual scent profile. And on to my final thoughts about Glacier Le Noir from the house of Maison Alhambra. This thing is a very decent clone of Le Mot Le Parfum. You know, Le Mot Le Parfum is a favorite scent of mine, and I am always looking for a good clone of the original fragrance, and Glacier Le Noir has turned out to be a very decent fragrance. Now, as I said, this thing has received very positive reviews, and I'm not going to bash on this fragrance, but I don't think that it's you know, that good or that close to the original scent. Yes, in the air it smells pretty similar to what you get with the original fragrance, but up close it has quite a few differences compared to Le Mot Le Parfum. And you know, the most important thing is that it lacks those things that I really like in the original fragrance. It lacks the sweetness, it lacks the warmth, and it lacks that strong iris note that I get out of the original. But on its own, it's not a bad fragrance, and it's as I said, a pretty decent clone of Le Mot Le Parfum, with good performance, good projection, low price tag, and all in all, when it comes to Le Mot Le Parfum clones, I don't think you have that many options. There's a Fragrance World clone out there that I have not tried. Then there's a Glacier Le Noir that you know, I have right now in this video, and there's one fragrance from Ajmal that's called Vibe for Him. That was the first clone of Le Mot Le Parfum that I got my hands on it, and probably in a future video I will compare Vibe for Him with Glacier Le Noir. But again, on its own, this is a pretty decent fragrance, and it gets a like from me because it's pretty similar to the original fragrance, and I just absolutely love the original Le Mot Le Parfum. And so guys, in today's video I showed you a pretty decent clone of Le Mot Le Parfum from Jean Paul Gaultier that comes from the house of Maison Alhambra, and it's called Glacier Le Noir. I hope that you found this video interesting or helpful. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in the next one. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.